Hello everyone, welcome back to Simplify Studies. In today's module, we are going to study about punctuations. The word punctuation is derived from the Latin word punctum, which means a point. Children, the way traffic signals are used to regulate traffic, the same way in English language we use punctuation marks to make meaningful sentences. Here's a sentence without punctuation. Let me read it for you. The sentence says, Cyrus said Mary, Ellen, Tammy are sitting in the lawn. Does it make any sense? Were you able to understand anything? See, when we talk to somebody in person, we use certain pauses, some expressions to make the other person understand what we are trying to say. Same way, when we write, then also we use certain pauses, certain symbols to make the person who is reading it understand what we are trying to say. In short, punctuation is the art of using proper spaces and symbols in writing. This helps to distinguish one sentence from another or one part of the sentence from another. Now, let me read the same sentence with punctuation marks. The sentence says, Syra said, Mary, Ellen, and Tammy are sitting in the lawn. Now, because of the punctuation marks, I understand that the speaker is Syra and she said that three people, that is, Mary, Ellen, and Tammy, are sitting in the lawn. The symbols or marks like full stop, comma, question mark, exclamation mark, etc. are called the marks of punctuation. Punctuation brings clarity to our writing. Here are few symbols which we are going to discuss in this module. Please go through it properly. Now, let us begin with capital letters. The first word of a sentence begins with a capital letter. For example, pollution is increasing day by day. Or the other sentence says, do not tease the animals in the zoo. Then, every new line of a poem usually begins with a capital letter. For example, I know a funny little man as quiet as a mouse. In short, to begin each fresh line of a poem, we use a capital letter. Then, all proper nouns and the adjectives formed from them begin with a capital letter. For example, India, Indian, Monday, January, the Gita, the Indian Express, Mount Everest, etc. Then we use capital letters for all the nouns or pronouns indicating God. Then we use the interjection O and the pronoun I in capital letters. Then we use capital letters for headings of stories, then articles, novels, poems, etc. We also use capital letters for abbreviations and designations. But I will discuss about it in our next topic, and which is full stop. Full stop represents the longest pause. It is used to mark the end of a statement or a command, or you can say after assertive or imperative sentences. For example, I need a dictionary, or Anu keeps 3 pets, or bring a dictionary for me. Full stop is also used with abbreviations, for example, UAE, ICSE, FIR, etc. But please note, full stop may or may not be used with abbreviations in modern writing. Next, we have comma. The comma indicates the shortest pause in a sentence. It is used to separate three or more words of the same part of speech. For example, please lift the box gently, carefully, and slowly. And second sentence says, Jyoti ate, washed her plate, and ran out to play. Commas are also used to mark off phrases in apposition. Apposition means two words or phrases referring to the same thing placed in a sentence without any connecting word. For example, Suman, our maid, has injured her fingers. Or, Creams, the cake shop is owned by Roma. Commas are also used to separate each pair of words connected by and to separate groups of words in a sentence. For example, this exhibition is organized by Arun and Associates and their partners. Or sandwiches and snacks, tea and juices, all are packed and kept in the basket. We also use commas to avoid repetition or omission of verb. It is also used in direct speech with quotation marks. For example, she is a tailor, her sister is a lawyer. Or Rohan said, Uncle Jim has sent a letter. We also use a comma to separate a noun of address. For example, Anshu, please help me clean my room. Or, where did you buy these beautiful jeans, Rajat? We also use a comma to separate expressions like yes, no, oh, well, etc. For example, no, I have no time to spare this evening. Or, well, I will try my best. We also use a comma to separate expressions like however, in fact, to, etc. For example, Rahul lost some early points. However, he was able to win the match. Or, this order was, in fact, issued by the principal. We also use a comma to separate question tags. For example, you were present yesterday, weren't you? Or, she didn't take her work seriously, did she? Next, we have interrogation mark or the question mark. The interrogation mark is used after asking a question. For example, have you paid the electricity bill? Or, how much did the watermelon cost? But please note, it is not used after an indirect question, polite request, or submission. For example, the painter asked me to choose a shade of paint for the kitchen walls. Or, I told him that I liked the shade of pink color which he showed me. Next, we have exclamation mark. The exclamation mark is used after exclamatory words, phrases, or sentences expressing sudden or extreme emotions or a wish. For example, how I wish I had the wings of a dove. Or, oh no, I broke the teacup. Next, we have the apostrophe. The apostrophe is used to show that something belongs to someone, the possession. For example, this necklace belongs to Tia. This is Tia's necklace. Apostrophes are also used in contractions, means to show that a letter is missing or some letters are missing when the word is made shorter. For example, instead of writing she is my friend, we usually write it like she is my friend. Or instead of writing Annie could not study, we just write Annie couldn't study. We also use apostrophe for a singular noun or proper noun ending in S. The apostrophe is used after the S. For example, this is Dante's house. Or Agnes' cousins are visiting her this weekend. But if a plural noun is formed with S or ES, then only the apostrophe is used. For example, the girls' running race will begin after the boys' running race. And if there is no s or es in the plural noun, then the possessive plural noun is formed by adding s after the word. For example, the women's washrooms are on the first floor of the hotel. Next, we have inverted commas. We will first start with single inverted commas. We use single inverted commas to indicate the title of books, poems, stories, etc., and to draw attention to a word. For example, Gyaneshwari is composed by Saint Gyaneshwar, or the prince was the name of Rani's pet cat. We also use single inverted commas to indicate a quotation within a quotation. For example, meet Mr. Das, say, "Good morning, sir," and give him my note, said Rita. Next, we have double inverted commas. Double quotes or double inverted commas are used to indicate a quotation in a sentence. It shows the exact words of the speaker. For example, the girl asked, "How many rooms do you want, sir?" "We want to take 2 rooms on rent," said the man. Next, we have colon. The colon indicates a longer pause than the comma, but is a shorter pause than the full stop. It is used to introduce a quotation, means to separate the speaker and the formal quotation. For example, "Father, where is your English notebook, son?" "Son, the teacher took it for checking and is making corrections." Colon is also used to introduce a list. For example, "I want these items from the shop." And the list goes like this: 2 kilograms of sugar, a packet of cashews, a dozen bananas, 1 liter of milk, and bread. Next, we have semicolon. Semicolon is used to indicate a longer pause than the comma. It is usually followed by conjunctions like and, but, or. And it is also used for adverbs like however and therefore. Semicolon is also used to separate many groups of words of a sentence when they contain a comma. For example, "He was a simple, honest man, and we all liked and respected him." Semicolon is also used to separate units of a series when the series contain commas. For example, Nagpur, Maharashtra, Panchmari, Madhya Pradesh, Sanjan, Gujarat. We will visit these places during our tour. Semicolon is also used to reduce or narrow the gap between two thoughts or closely linked sentences. For example, "It had rained heavily the previous night. The roads were dirty and slippery." That's all I have for you today. Have a good day and please do play the quiz. The link of the same is given in the description box.